Trying to do. Also, at the same time, pick up enough of the flock that's down near the snail poop, etc. But if you do that and it's 15 seconds, that's literally 4 of these a minute, right? And there's 20 something in here. 24 usually. We usually try keeping one of these empty, and that's because of that, like that little slide game that you had with the moving one, and then you'll figure out a path between, you know, cleaning this one to that side, this one over to here, this one down to here, that one over to there, and then move down the other side. And then, oh yeah, come over and feel this side. Whoa. Each put your hand in and feel this side. Yeah. Feel that sandpaper?
Yeah.
That's not sand. That's crushed coral and algae, this side. What's not done for probably 3 days or more. So the first thing you do when one of these is literally get this side done. Get the scrubby part. Go back and forth here a couple of times. And I can get it off now. But a week, if this was a week, I wouldn't be getting it off here. And then every week, at the end, we'll just take 1 capful of vinegar on a sponge after it's been moved to a root tank. And we'll just do a quick film wipe.
I thought I smelled vinegar.
I like to call it our salad dressing technique. There's not a lot of fouling on this one. This is Porites, again the mustard hill coral, and it produces some sort of compound itself. And if you can see where there's still some of the ceramic plug on the top, there's just a light green film. This is, I think, a diatom, and it's a specific species that works out very well, and it's not the filamentous ones like you're going to be working with some of the other species. So I think the Porites puts off a compound that basically allows for this algae to be dominant. And so what we are going to do is, and have done, is move half of this water with whatever that biological makeup is, whether that's a bacteria, algal dominance, and we will move half that water in here. So we're basically doing a scenario where we're inoculating this tank with the same culture water. So just like if you had let's say an infection and you had an antibiotic and you lost your gut flora, then you go ahead and get something like yogurt bacteria.
Right.
Yeah, so we're probioticing this tank.
Okay.
We're not actually going to do this move. We're filling this up so that we want to do the cleaning in the water. And so we're going to make a mess of this tank, and we're stealing some of the water from this one and putting it in this one.
Where did you say the hand washing station was? I want to do that before.
Right to the right of the bucket.
Before anything else. And if I give this camera a little rinse.
Yeah, that's what she said. Like, yeah,
basically a scrubby that you usually put in dishwater for doing your dishes. And what we'll do is we'll start a siphon. So instead of the siphon, and you can do either one. One person can try with that, and basically we siphon and sponge-siphoning, and then sliding one of these over. So they didn't leave it too good of an empty space. So what I'll do is I'll start this siphon first. Put my finger on here, bring it down past the level, and then open my thumb up. And it's going. So now what I want to do is I want to get the air out of this, and I'm going to connect these two up without bringing it up out of the water. And now what I'm going to do is one-hand it.
That's genius.
And I have the other hand available for moving this around.
An underwater vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
We know how to do that.
Much larger version.
Aquarium divers do this on a bigger scale. Yeah.
We have a much larger version of this at the Science Center.
Right.
Really? And I could probably learn some techniques of materials that would work real well. By the way, here's another kind of snail. This is the aster snail. Asterius
Yeah.
as opposed to the turbo snap. And usually when I'm moving these around and disconnect these, I'll try to put them back on top and say, eat your spinach, but not put it on top of the coral like that.
Yeah.
Here on this one, I can put it here. He may fall off, but at least he'll get some cleaning done up on top. And here, just in between. So I'm going to try to start to make a empty swath. And you'll see, there'll be a lot of flock that comes back. I'm not really worried about the flock. Start to siphon up, and here's our empty spot. So we're going to clean that and move one over, clean that and move one over. Use the side. So if you want to work on this one with the sponge to the side and the siphon, and you can either sponge siphon or I can get you one of those handle things, whichever you like. That come from the side, like from the ridges. And in the valleys is the mouth. And every once in a while you'll see what looks like a dot in the mouth, almost like a little zipper. So if you come in, actually from the side, you see that little bit, about every 3 millimeters in the valley, you'll see a little lump that's a little different. That's the mouth.
White dot.
Yeah, so you really need to take a close look now.
Okay.
Because we're going to analyze this now rather than trying to analyze it while we're cutting.
Okay.
And the reason we're doing that is because as soon as we start cutting, we start contracting and there's a lot of mucus and it's hard to see. So that's why I say we decide ahead of time how we're cutting and where we're going to cut. It's easier cutting down that ridge, cut down this ridge, and then we're going to take those pieces and maybe cut it into I'm going to say 3 here on this side, 3 on that side, and we might get 4 from the center, which would mean 10, which means if there's 20 mouths, we have a good chances.
Yeah.
We're not going to try and follow and say, oh, there's a mouth, I got to turn left, I got to turn right.
You're going
It's
to do
just
more damage.
impossible
Yeah.
to do.
Plus you got your, there's only a certain amount that you can hold when it's
Take one of these, and I'm going to cut it. I'm just going to cut this one into 3. I don't like how tall this one's going to be because it's going to have to grow down the cliff. So you may not want to do this yourself, but I'm going to hold this end, and I'm going to cut that in half. Leave this more to the professional. That's a piece we don't want. Hardest job right here. And you want to try and push it, but you don't. You want to let the saw do the cutting. And you really don't want to get your fingers in there, but if you did, you know, I just touched it really quick and I didn't get it. If that had been a regular wood saw or steel saw, my end of my thumb would have been sitting over here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hold it here, and I'm going to let the saw do the work, and I'm going to just cut the cap off. And I just roll it a little bit like a wheel. Try not to twist too much. These blades are $70 each, so we try not to snap them. I'm about halfway done. You're allowed to sing if you want to.
No singing.
No fun.
There we go. Now that will. $25 shipping. Yeah.
100 and what? 10?
410.
Yeah.